Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Tuesday, the 3rd of October. Well, it carries on a disappointing run, so hopefully we put that behind us today with selections at Sedgefield, Ayr and Wolverhampton. So let me get into it. So the first bet is a 7p each way Canadian. So the first selection is Ragam Muffin at 8-1 in the 130 at Sedgefield, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse travels a long way from Wiltshire. It's trained by Neil Mulholland. I think the horse has got a chance on form, but the most interesting thing is, I looked at the strike rate of this trainer over all the jumps tracks. I put them in order, in strike rate percent. So I thought, I wonder where Sedgefield comes up in this, with it being such a long distance traveller. Sedgefield is Neil Mulholland's highest strike rate win percentage at 36%. Well, he's got 2 runners today, but the other one is a 5-runner race. It's got a decent chance, but I fancy them both about the same, but I've actually left the other one out because there's only 5 runners, and potentially it'll be win only. So I've gone for Ragamuffin. It's got a bit of a sneak on form. Interesting, it's travelling quite so far, and that's my first selection. The second selection is Starshot at 40-1 in the 142 at Ayr, and it's paying 3 places instead of 2. I wouldn't have had this horse unless they were paying extra place races. It keeps chucking out the odd little bit of form. I did originally fancy Telly Red, and it's got a decent chance. And let's not talk about horses that I fancy and then choose a different one. I should be well aware. Was it Connie's Lad yesterday? I said I just can't quite have it in this grade, and it wouldn't. Well, it was actually there were a few non-runners, so it actually 28-1 when I mentioned it that I'd gone off it, and obviously like they normally do when you go off them, they win. But anyway, getting back onto this, so Starshot, it's got a bit of a sneak. I don't think it will finish last. Well, there's only 7 runners. Hopefully, it might go down to 6. But I think it could sneak place. Like I said, originally I did like the look of Telly Red. It's just that I don't think it's well handicapped, but it's still running well. It's like I always think there could be something that could beat that Telly Red now, although it could run a decent race. But I've gone for Starshot because it keeps popping up with the odd decent run and then running disappointingly. Well, I think you could put a line through the last 2 runs based on draw. It ran at Thirsk and ran down the centre and ran at Redcar. Yes, it was drawn okay at Redcar, but some horses just don't handle Redcar. So the third selection is My Chiquita at 4-1 in the 235 at Sedgefield. This is another trainer. If you like win bets, this is another trainer that could potentially have a double. You've got My Chiquita at 4-1. This horse was bought quite a while ago by, I think it's Ben Brookhouse. I think his first name's Ben. But Ben Brookhouse. I think it was 25th of August 2020. But he sent it to Ian Williams, and it ran out, I believe, 3 times over hurdles, running okay, and then it basically stuck to the flat. Then, obviously, Ben Brookhouse has got his own license. It now runs under his. He trains it. Obviously, he owns it as well. And I think it's very interesting. First time out on the handicap, but it's been flying on the flat, absolutely flying, running really well. It could be well back, this horse could. I don't think it'll be 4-1. I think it could be more like 15-8 on post time, the start time. Sorry. So yeah, it's also got another horse, and I can't remember its name. It's at Sedgefield as well. But that horse has got an obvious chance as well. In fact, hold on a second. I'm getting confused here. Right. I think I've just described Cardano. So obviously, clearly, I've backed them both here. I'm getting confused now. Right. Well, I'm not editing this video. I don't mind looking daft. So you got my Chiquita, never ran over hurdles. You got Cardano. Sorry, yeah, 15-8. I knew it rang a bell when I said 15-8. So that horse is basically the one I've just described. So I fancy both the horses. I think he could have a double. So the one in between is New Tycoon at 22-1 in the 357 at Ayr, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is basically, it's a poor race, and this is a change of trainer. It's now trained by Liam Bailey. I think it will handle soft ground. It's from James Horton. There was a bit in the newspaper about him not so long back. I can't remember what it. James Horton. Now, doesn't he train for John Dance? So I don't quite know what's gone off there. I know John Dance has there's some allegations against him, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this has gone from James Horton to Liam Bailey. Not a trainer I normally bike. I think I normally keep an eye on him when he's on the all weather. But it's not run for a while. It's changed trainer, and it could be anything. Maybe they just might send it out just to see what they've got, or maybe it could be well handicapped. I'm not sure where it's trained. Tell you what, bear with me, and I'll find out. North Yorkshire to Ayr, so it's not travelling miles, to be fair. So that's the first bet. Not really explained too well, but let's get into it. So the next one is at Wolverhampton. So I've gone for a 10 pence each way, lucky 15, and a 50 pence each way accumulator. So the first selection is Esmeralda at 10 to 1 in the 4.27 at Wolves, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse has got a chance, in my opinion. The only time it ran disappointingly was on the all weather, but forget that. That's a bit of a smokescreen because this horse is crying out for a long distance. So it started off at a mile, then it was dropped back to 7 furlongs on its all weather debut. So you're going to run poorly because it wants further. So then it had a break and it ran well or wellish over 1 mile 2. It's now stepping up to 1 mile 4, and I think it's got every chance. And I like Alan King when he takes a horse to when he puts an horse on the all weather. Second selection is Dada's Boy at 9 to 2 in the 5 o'clock at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. So for the last couple of years, all we've heard about really is, well, not all, but a lot we've heard about is Ammo Racing. Well, I'm sure, yeah, it looks like they're going places, spending a lot of money. Well, they've got a horse here, and it's rated 49. So they've kept hold of it. They haven't got rid of it yet, so maybe they think they could get a race out of it. Could this be the race? I don't know. But they're not going to hang on to this horse for very long if it's only rated 49. So clearly they've hung on to it for a little bit. And do they think they can get a win out of it before they set it on? Possibly. Hopefully it's today. When that horse would have been bought, it would not have been considered to be a 40. You would not think that they'd have thought about, oh, this could be a 49 rated horse. So I think they might have thought a bit of it, but obviously it's not quite progressed. But maybe you thought there might be a little bit of class there or talent that could win this kind of race. Third selection is Noodle Mission at 10 to 1 in the 6 o'clock at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. And then finally, Southwold at 17 to 2 in the 6:30 at Wolves, paying 4 places instead of 3. Let me know if you're interested. I'm gonna put a football bet on. I haven't put it on yet, so if you're interested in seeing it, I'll put it in the bottom of I'll put it in the description. So the very best of luck, Charlie Winters. That'll be the football bet will be roughly after the last horse race that I've given out. So Charlie Winters, the very best of luck, Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.